Day Crafty Gems, it's Nikki here, aka Carcindy Cat, aka Carcindy Cat's Life. And today I'm just coming to you with the results from the acrylic pouring I did the other day on the International Crafters Facebook channel. International Crafters YouTube channel. You've got to excuse me, I did a half marathon yesterday. Feeling a bit tired and sore today, but never mind. That's the joy of doing these kinds of things. So I'm actually not going to wait for anybody to join me here. I'm just going to go straight into the results because I'm preparing to do a live stream in about 4 hours, which will be a painting, I hope. So yeah, I'm just preparing myself for that. And so I just thought I'd come quickly with these results, get them out the way, and then get my mind set ready to do the painting this afternoon, which I might need lights for because it's a bit dark in here today. Of course, it's winter, it's raining, and it's dark, so, you know, who cares? So, right, this was the first pour I did, as you can see. I didn't get all the sides, but because there's a lot of white in it, I don't think that matters a lot. And it was only my first pouring and a test to see what it was like. These were the acrylic paints I used, which were just a cheap set of, you know, what they call student grade acrylics, just the red, yellow, blue. I just used these so that you know, just if I did something terribly wrong, then it'd be okay. I used as the base I used acrylic glue mixed with water, 3:1, and that may have actually turned out to be a little bit too thick. I think the next one that I'll do, I use 2:1 on the PVA glue, just to see whether it has any effect on how it pours and that. So that'll be an interesting thing that I'm going to do next time that I do an acrylic pour, because I think it just ended up being too thick. This is only just dry, really dry, and my granddaughter got at them and she poked her fingers in them the other day while I was there, which was really nice. Then I had to chase her around the house with her painted fingers to try and wipe them off. Hi, Melissa. So yeah, so I've got little fingerprints in here and little wipes and swipes and things where she had great fun putting her finger in there. So yeah, so this was as I say, this was a 3:1 PVA glue to water base, and I'm thinking it was a little bit too thick. So the next pour that I do, I'll be using PVA glue again, and hi Debbie, and in a 2:1, just to see what the difference is. 3 days to dry. This the one on the chipboard dried the fastest. That was dry within 2 days. My granddaughter ran away with that one, so I can't show you that one, but it dried. Hi Maggie. It dried the quickest. So yeah, so the paper dried the quickest. The ones on the canvas dried second quickest, which was something like 2.5 days. And then the one on the wood block took 3 days to dry. So that took the longest of the drying. So as I say, it's actually, before it dried, it was very glossy. It had a really nice sheen, and I could bring that back by varnishing over it with a high gloss varnish. But as I say, these were just testing, really. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'll probably use these canvases for something else again, because although they're nice, they're not super brilliant, but I quite like them. So, you know, it's an evil spirit there or something. So I'll probably have to go over that. So there was no alcohol on this one. Oh, cool. Awesome. Melissa says her challenge winner video will be going up in about half an hour. So that's cool. We'll get into that later. As I say, I'm coming back in about 4 hours' time to do a painting for, I was doing a art swap with Ayala Art, and I've received hers back, but I haven't got mine off to her yet because life happened. But now I'm sort of like hoping today that I can get on with it and do that and sort that. So that was the first pour, which was good. I didn't use any medium on there to try and get cells or anything, but as you could see, it turned out quite nice anyway, didn't it? So this was the second one. Yeah, you love the evil minion. It's like, I tell you, there's eyes there, and there's the shape of the face there, and it's like, ooh. I could bring it out, I suppose, and then make that the hair. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do an intuitive painting on it a bit later. Who knows? So this one was on the wood block, which I got from my daughter's firebox, and I think I swiped this one. Again, it didn't go very well over the edges. I don't think I had quite enough paint on there anyway. You know, when I was doing pours, it was the first pours, so I learned a lot doing them, and I actually quite liked the swipe. I didn't think when I was doing it anybody else liked it, but I actually quite liked the swipe of it. This one wasn't swiped, this one was, and I got a snake's head there. It's a snake. I think it's, and his little fangs there and his little eyes there, and yeah, it's the first time actually that in any of my work I've been able to see things in it. When my granddaughter took away with her, actually formed a penguin, and really strongly formed a penguin, so it's quite funny. Yeah, Melissa, I've seen lots of things. As I say, I did it on the wood block, the canvas, chipboard, and book paper. So that's what I did that on, and I still like this one. It's probably my favourite. But what I didn't do was I didn't quite have the paint mix very well on the red. The red, oh, there was a little bit. Yeah, I think there was blue as well. Red or the blue. The yellow did, and it came out as a lump. And so, of course, obviously, that just took forever to dry. That's why it was one of the last ones to dry. And as you can see, some little granddaughter's fingerprint in there. You may not be able to see it, but it's there. Yeah, I'm not very good at that. You know, it's the intuitive, they call it intuitive painting, don't they? I'm just not good at. I think I sprinkled actually some of the alcohol blending solution. I thought it wasn't going to work because, of course, it's not a strong solution. And I did get a few cells, but nothing really, you know, I only tried it as an afterthought, basically. No, I haven't used any silicone spray on them yet. I'm thinking of doing the silicone spray and the some hair oil, hair conditioner, hair oil as well that you can use. So I might be giving that a go as well. Also, I know that that you can use this medium, which is like a glue as well for it, but it's expensive, so I'm not going to use it. And it's also runny to start with, so I wouldn't use that. I save it for different other things because it's really expensive. It's, you know, you've got to have a cheaper medium to do the pouring, acrylic pouring, of course, unless you're a excuse me, unless of course you're a professional, which I'm not. This was my first pour. I actually enjoyed it. It was quite fun. And so then so I did these two with the cheap acrylic paints, which turned out quite nice. And then with this one, I actually used my golden acrylics, and they turned out well. But the thing is it expensive stuff to use on something like this? Although I didn't have to use as much as I did on the because of course they're highly pigmented. I didn't have to use as much as I did with these. But again, you know, it's like if I was any good at it, then I'd save it. So I did use the blending solution on this one on purpose, and as you can see, you may think these are cells, but they're not. What it was I had a lot of paint on the chipboard, and as I was moving it around on the chipboard, I actually just dripped it onto there. So that was good. And it's another one of my granddaughter's fingerprints there. She's a darling, isn't she? So yeah, again, it didn't go all over the sides because I didn't have enough mixed. Now I'm getting, you know, if I did it again, I'd know I actually would need more to do it. And this one was swiped as well, and then dribbled. I dribbled some of the extra acrylic paint I had over it as well. And to be honest with you, whatever you think, this one actually is my favourite of these. So yeah, and when I did this one, then I know people didn't like this one, but it's actually my favourite. So funny. And then with what I had left, so these aren't cells, these are blobs of paint that I put on afterwards. So you may think they're cells, they're not. And then I put what I had left over in the book paper. And when my little 3-year-old granddaughter saw this one, and she said, "Yay, dolphins!" So there you go. There's dolphins on this page. It's like, maybe it's like that, and like that and that. Maybe there as well. Dolphins, yay! So and this one dried the quickest, obviously, because it's on paper. But this one is one of my favourite ones. So there you go. I you know, I just put it on the one page and then just squidged it up, and that was the result, and I quite like that. And good. I'm glad you can see them, because I mean, I just opened it and she said dolphins, so they must be strongly represented in there. So there you go. And I got a byproduct from all these pools and that, so I'll just take these away and show you my byproduct. Of course. And of course the look, still wet. Oh my god, wet. So this was my byproduct, of course, if it ever dries, is the paint peelings. I don't know what you call them. So yeah. So these haven't dried up properly yet. I can't believe how long it's taken to dry, but it is very wet, cold, and damp in my house. So that could be a reason why the drying has taken such a long time. Paint boogers. Yeah, lovely paint boogers. So, you know, I'm going to have lots of fun with these as well. Put them on to different projects, I think. So I think these so this was the byproduct. Of course, nothing's wasted, is it? Skins, that's it. I knew there was a word for it, but I actually quite like paint boogers. Yeah, so it's good. I've actually got boogers. So I tell you, the half marathon, Maggie, I did the half marathon yesterday in Christchurch, and the weather was appalling. It was so cold, and it rained and rained. I was soaked and frozen. I was shivering as I got towards the finish line. I actually haven't run in such a challenging race before, and yeah, remind me never to run in the rain again. That was so cold. So cold. Thanks, Maggie. I mean, I told myself before I started that if it was raining too hard, I wouldn't do the run, because who wants to be that uncomfortable? But it lulled me into false sense of security, because just before the start it stopped raining, so I thought, oh, maybe we'll get away with it. And then about halfway around, it just dumped it down, and it was bitterly cold. I haven't been that cold in ages. God, Blimey, but I don't have to do that one again now, do I? Don't it look? See, still wet. I think that shows you how cold and damp it is in my house here. I think probably the damp is showing it more. So we've got the dehumidifier. My daughter's lent me a dehumidifier now, and we're just getting that one sorted out and ready and up and going because my windows are just running with water. It's horrible. It's not even like that on my boat. Thanks, Debbie. Yeah. So wet. So there you go. Boogers. I got paint boogers. I actually had a paint booger on the day when I was doing it because I got something on my hands and I'd rubbed my nose. That'll teach me and then when I went to wash my hands in the sink, I had this blue paint underneath my nose. I've got to be careful not to do it again. So there you go. That was the results of the pour. And in about, as I say, in about 4 hours from now, I'll be coming back and doing some painting. You don't often see me doing painting. So yeah, I'll come back with a live stream and work on that. As I say, I've got to get this piece finished for Ayala Art, and I'll be doing that then. So thanks for joining me and having a chat and things, and I'll see you later, hopefully, or maybe not if you're going to bed now. So yeah, 4 hours from now, join me if you're still up. Okay, see you then. Bye. Do you look at that? My broadcast doesn't want to stop. It doesn't want me to go.